Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Gyan Murtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adorations to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha, Nirvana Prakarana Purvardha, section 31, and the highest form of worship, the highlight of the topic. And that, in brief, Prajnanam Brahma. Brahman is pure awareness, consciousness. If your mind can focus on consciousness, and if you can love that understanding, the process of worship becomes extremely simple, because the greatest pilgrimage center you find right with you. Pilgrimage center, again, is a means to God realization. But pure consciousness is God Himself. So how distant you are from God? All this, again, is a matter of vichar, understanding. But if this understanding clears, the idea of loving God, meeting God, having darshan with God, communing with God, all that becomes simpler than you can ever imagine. Because very source of your whole personality is ever-present reality. Pure consciousness, speaking allegorically, is closer than your body, closer than your mind, closer than your intellect, closer than your nose. Who knows? But in order to reach that stage, you must live your life practicing integral yoga. Karma, bhakti, dhyana, jnana, and all these must become a kind of rhythmic music, melody. If life becomes melodious, then you have found the cure for all maladies. Melody versus malady. And malady is mala adi. Mala vikshepa avarna. It's called maladi. It is this consciousness which has assumed numerous names and forms. Behold the miraculous power of ignorance. Though ever full, Purnamada, this consciousness has allowed itself to descend into the lowest depths of unconscious. Simple way to understand. Pure consciousness, think of the sun. And all souls are reflected consciousness. jivas. They are all reflected suns in countless reservoirs of water, in pots and in different reservoirs. There are millions of reflected suns, and each reflected sun is in its own predicament. From sun status to become trapped by reflection identity. I am the reflected sun. That's called the big fall. Though consciousness is ever full, it has allowed itself to descend into the lowest depths. Consciousness, sun is ever full, but look at the sun in a jar of water. It's completely a fool, ever shaking. So, using allegorical term, the sun has sunk into such a low stage, and that's called bondage, bandhan, bandha mukti. From that low stage, your goal is to have self-realization, not be limited to your lower self, not to be limited by your ego, but to discover I am that. I am the sun. And in relation to all other reflected suns, automatically when you have that understanding, I am the sun, then all reflected suns are essentially yourself. Therefore, allow your heart to have goodwill for all. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Sarvam ahasmi titi. I am all this. And that is the highest form of Vedantic Upasana. Though it has the possibility of devouring this vast space containing numerous objects, yet it considers itself confined to time and space. Every reflected sun has the capacity to withdraw all suns as if devour them. Allegorical. Sun doesn't have to devour anything. These are all reflections. But any reflected sun that has realized, I am the sun, it is handling two aspects. One, the aspect in the limited jar, limited pot, shaking, etc. Another, I am the absolute sun. The aspect that I am, the reflected sun, I am the soul, individual soul. From that point of view, your heart opens to all souls. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. May all be happy. And your life, apparently, is dependent upon your karma. Because prior to attaining enlightenment, you were following the law of karma, vidhi vidhan. And while still in the body, you have attained enlightenment. The body will follow the law of karma. But only thing has changed, that your understanding of yourself has twofold. One, you have a tender heart, a heart that sends out goodwill to all. So each time you find some suffering or you pray out, send out a prayer, may this, I'm just giving a very crude illustration. You are suffering from headache. Of course, we'll pray, oh Lord, relieve me of the headache. But in that prayer you add, relieve the headache of all. And if you can't, then keep the headache only with me. To figure out the type of heart that will have that type of prayer. And that's the description of saintly heart. Section 31, consciousness through the negation of the world process. The same theme coming to higher stage. Lord Shiva, you must realize that this is in a storyline. Lord Shiva is giving these teachings to sage Vasistha. Therefore, naturally, the teaching is at the highest level. Just as a lady believes herself to be in misery when she finds herself drunk with the wine of delusion in her dream. Why the name lady? Because mukti is feminine. Liberation is feminine when you call mukti. So mukti potential has dreamt about misery. In the same manner, having fallen into the mire of ignorance, this consciousness believes itself to be caught in the world of multiplicity. Always subtle understanding has to develop, viveka, understanding of difference between pure consciousness and all that you experience through reflections in consciousness. Your soul itself, jiva, as jiva, you are reflected consciousness. And all your realities of jiva are reflections. And just like there is a difference between reflections and the lake, consciousness like pure lake, and all that you experience through your mental process, through the vrittis of your mind, they are all reflections. Just as a person who is afflicted by mental disbalance believes himself to be dead and weeps over such an imaginary loss, brain plays many great tricks. A person comes to a state of such tragic state of brain that suddenly develops the shocking feeling, I'm dead. Calls a near and dear one, tell me, am I alive? Or I have passed away. Pure consciousness enters into the world of illusion and apparently becomes afflicted by misery. All the miseries are not affecting your consciousness. Your consciousness, I'm not referring to limited consciousness. Not reflected consciousness is affected, but not the consciousness. Therefore, when you discover I am that, not what reflected consciousness creates, then any news about misery, it's hubris. A child brings a bucket of water to the mother in the open area, says, "Oh mother, I've caught the sun, and it's a gift for you." To the child, it is a reality, because you sees the sun there. To the mother, it is a humor. How cute. And let me tell you a little parable. A man had gone, a businessman in foreign country. And when he comes, he meets someone of his neighbor. The neighbor tells him that I have to give you a tragic news. Your wife has become a widow. He throws away his hat, his clothes, and tears his robes and cries and grieves. The intelligent sage comes close to him and says, "Why are you grieving so much?" "Because my wife has become a widow." The sage explains to him, how could you be a widow? How could your wife be a widow? You are alive. You are the husband. Then he said, "That so simple." Much in the same way, when you are highly qualified and developed all the qualifications and practiced yoga in integral way and gained insight into para puja, supreme worship, then switching your attention from all this world that you experience through your conditioned mind is like switching your attention from a dream to waking state. It's like awakening. And it's a simple process, spontaneous. Also, it is to be understood that if you are following the path in a right way, your progress is spontaneous. You go through 7 steps, jnana bhumikas. But just like a tree grows in a spontaneous way, there is spontaneity, not characterized by muscle strength. Chitta, or the mind, is the cause of drowning pure consciousness in the realm of multiplicity. Mind is the cause of bondage and release. So, you are being reminded there is the chitta that creates the illusion of bondage. And bondage has 3 stages: mala, vikshepa, and avarana. Mala, gross impurities. Vikshepa, distractions caused by subtle desires. Avarana is avidya, ignorance, which is a veil of illusion. All this is through your mental process, chitta. When chitta becomes dissolved, all this moves away. And that's the state of kaivalya, pure consciousness. That state is a revelation of the absolute truth. When one realizes chitta to be illusory, pure consciousness regains its essential nature and discovers its intrinsic freedom. When chitta is negated, the world process is also negated. That point I have again and again explained to you. Bhava pratyaya, pratyaya bhava. All the world experience is fashioned by projections of your mind. Projections have created the experience of the world, just like projections create a show, a dramatic show on a screen. But the entire show is different from the screen. And difference again is in the form of illusion, not a reality. You are not separating something real from, you are not separating two objects, one from the other. There is only one reality, Brahman. But through human mind, that clarity is not there. The mind gets confused between reality and reflection. To the conditioned mind, reflection is as real as the reality. Reality rather becomes vague, something that you have to realize. When chitta is negated, the world process is also negated. Chit or pure consciousness gives rise to the faulty existence of chitta. Originally, chitta has been formed by chit, pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is Brahman. And chitta is the product form of Prakriti. That point I have also explained in many ways. Brahman and his power Prakriti, both are one and the same. But when you study a state of ignorance and how people are separated from Brahman, that Prakriti becomes a reality, as if a reality other than Brahman or in addition to Brahman. Keeping that type of limited concept, that Prakriti plays three roles: Sattva predominating, Rajas predominating, Tamas predominating. Through Sattva predominating, Brahma plays the role of Ishvara, creator, sustainer, destroyer. To Rajas predominating, Brahman becomes countless souls, jivas. Tamas predominating, Brahman becomes all the product that helps the soul to evolve. Body, mind, senses, intellect, pranas, all this that has evolved out of nature. So ultimately, all this Prakriti and all its products is nothing but Brahman. Brahman alone is. How alone? Now, allegorically, the scripture describes, just as oil is absent in a rock, in the same manner, in pure consciousness, there is utter negation of the seer, seen, and sight. World experience is always described in the form of Triputi, triad. Just like dream experience has three illusions: the dream subject, the dream world, and dream experiences. But none of the three is real when you wake up. Similarly, all your experience of the world and has three aspects. First, you are a subject, but you don't know who you are actually. Second, the world around you, that again is according to your perceptions. Your eyes pick up only certain wavelengths. So according to your eyes, certain things are real to you as a human being. But there are viruses, etc., you can't see them. They see you. So, simply because you see something, that is not a reality. Your seeing itself is conditional. So that applies to all your senses. So neither you know who you are, nor what you see is a reality. And then your interaction is just like your wife has become a widow. Threefold trouble. But when this triad moves away, then there is pure awareness. Absolute self, Brahman. Just as mountains are non-existent in the sky, in the same manner, egoism and the experiences of multiplicity do not exist in pure consciousness. Just as darkness has no place in the luminous sun, the world of multiplicity has no place in the self-effulgent Atman. Just as a tree does not exist in a rock, in the same manner, the concepts of existence and non-existence are not to be found in Brahman. The concept of existence and non-existence is projected by thought waves of your mind. That's called bhava pratyaya. All experiences of gain and loss are called pratyaya, perceptions. But Brahman is absence of pratyaya. Pratyaya bhava is a term used. Chitta or pure consciousness, having assumed the role of conditioned chitta, you have to understand the difference between two words, Sanskrit words. Chit is pure consciousness. Chitta, just only one T you have to add. And that's the mind stuff. So it is chit through chitta becomes all this world process. But when chitta becomes enlightened, the entire world of triad vanishes. Chit alone remains. Very simple way to understand. When you are going to your bed and you enter into a big dream, the entire dream of the triad has no existence. How do you know it? When you wake up, nothing stays. Not a needle point of your dreamland stays as a reality. And the entire dream was just like reflections. Reflections in consciousness. And you are pure consciousness. Pure consciousness, having assumed the role of conditioned chitta, creates the illusory world of the senses and their objects, and develops the sense of I-ness and mindness, the world of illusion, ahamata, mamata. Therefore, whenever you utter the term Namah, the mantra points to negation of me and mine. The result will be pure consciousness. When me and mine are gone, You are no longer an individual in a world of multiplicity. You are no longer a reflected sun in the midst of countless reflections. You are the sun. And that revelation becomes pakka, perfect. When the erroneous notion of I and mine is removed, the evil of the world process ceases to exist. But as long as that erroneous notion is sustained, the world process cannot be transcended. So therefore, Vedanta's emphasis on vichar, who am I? And if who am I is corrected, then what is mine also automatically is corrected in a spiritual way. Changing your understanding of me and mine, that becomes effective in two stages, bhakti and jnana. In bhakti stage, you view me and mine both not as a basis for inflating your ego. But the more you understand me and mine, me means you are a channel, instrument in the hand of God. Mine, nothing mine, is thine, God's. So when you do not allow your mind to be burdened by constant complaints coming from your nature, through the shouting mouth of me and mine. Me sits on one chair, mine sits. And they have lots of things that emanate from their tongue like explosions. But both me and mine fade away progressively. As you practice bhakti, you begin to give more understanding that who is operating through your body. Upadrashta Anumantacha, it's God who is overseeing your activity. He is the one who is inspiring you. As you further advance, He is Bharta, He is the sustainer. Everything that you do, God is behind it. Further advance, He is the enjoyer. You are not enjoying your food, neither your teeth, nor your tongue, nor your brain. All these are brain nerve titillations. The real source of behind all that is pure consciousness, Brahman. So, the more you understand, greater is the relaxed state of personality and enjoyment of serenity. And as bhakti reaches the state of jnana, then me and mine have disappeared. This absolute impossibility. When you wake up from a dream, the dream has disappeared. Not a single part of the dream, not even a little penny of your dream can be saved. The question of saving doesn't arise. Renunciation of the notion of false ego is as easy as renouncing a handful of straw for those who are wise. Now, when we talk about renounce your ego effacement, renounce this world, it's become such a big task for human mind. Like, even vacate this house take all your goods away. It's a big task. Even just a little house. This big house of the universe, shake that away. But in advanced state, led by all this upasana and affirmation, you come to a state of considering all this project just like a straw in your hand. And all that you have to do is to throw it away. Open your fist. Don't keep it closed. It's an allegorical way of telling you that it is kind of a waking up process. And waking up process is a simple process. In a terrible dream, running away from the terror of your dream is very hard work. But a little fly comes on your nose and you wake up. How quickly you have resolved the problem. So understand two angles. One angle, problem is immense. As long as you are dealing with a world of karma, karma-based attainment, this is a load and load of activity, and a mountainous job, ever unending. But when you have adopted bhakti and jnana, and you have come to that intuitional level, it's like a waking up. All this load of work, all the mountains, etc., are nothing but just a straw. Even the straw has something, even that is allegorical only. You are not giving up anything. Renunciation of the notion of false ego is as easy as renouncing a handful of straw for those who are wise, and as difficult as removing a mountain for one who is ignorant. The world process is sustained by one's own error. Now, another important point to understand, the world process and renouncing it seems like a big project. But your experience of the world process is backed up by your own mental limitation. Mental limitation is your own error, how you have promoted your mind. And that error can be corrected by your self-effort. So that's why sadhana begins with self-effort. No matter how the world is presented by philosophy, in order to attain enlightenment, your effort has to start. And that effort implies integral yoga and more subtle way, listening, reflection, meditation, and pursuing the steps of jnana bhumikas. Those points we will deal with little later, though we have repeated it again and again. So this error can be corrected by taking recourse to spiritual inquiry, called vichar. No one else can remove the illusion that is sustained by a person. This another point has to be understood. Your illusion, you have to break. You cannot turn to someone and tell the person, go to satsang for me. Study Vedanta. Crush that snake. Bring the rope. I'm joking. Your spiritual improvement is your job, your effort. Others begin to inspire you, and you become deluded, thinking that they are leading you to progress. But you must realize your goodness, karma, has drawn others to help you. So others are helping you on the basis of your own purushartha. You have created that situation. You draw friendly personalities towards yourself. That doesn't happen just by accident. Your good karma, and if you continue your good karma, continue your good purushartha, help will come from countless sources. But they are not coming from others, coming from your own self. You are the one who are helping yourself. So don't fall into the trap that now I don't have to do any sadhana. There are so many good people around. You can give the job of sadhana. Do meditation for me. Do karma yoga for me. Do dhyana yoga for me. And you watch the Corona show. Joke. That Brahman, who is non-dual, who is beyond all imaginations, who is all-pervading, who is the light of lights, can be attained only by taking recourse to right understanding, brought about by the renunciation of erroneous thoughts relating to I-ness and mindness. And if you do that, you become really His Highness or Her Highness. This consciousness is the illuminer of all. It is eternal, taintless, devoid of the mind and senses, free of all defects and modifications. It is the reality behind all objects, whether an earthen pot or a monkey, whether a snake or human being, whether a god or a demon. All these allegorical descriptions, the Brahman alone is all this. And with this I will conclude. Om. Om. Ram, 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 Ram. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. Prayer for shower of Karunamaya Ras grace over all of you, and for the blessings of Shakti, Bhakti and Mukti, and all the blessings shower on you. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Hari Om Tat Sat.